Spain, Pablo Carreno Busta. And his opponent tonight, representing Team Greece, it's Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Well, he's always played some good ball down under, has Stefanos. And there's some decent Greek support here this evening. And he tends to send the fans into a frenzy. Always enjoy watching him play. And he's always enjoyed playing against Pablo Carreno Busta. Got a good record against him, but this guy's got one match under his belt, and I think that's important. We saw Carreño Busta in full flow yesterday. It was too good for Alexander Shevchenko. It's the first match for the Greek, though.
Say hello, Stefanos. So, gentlemen, good luck. Normal stuff, you know about it. I will just remind you, we have an air device. We have electronic line calling, so all the line will be called by the system. We have an automatic shot clock, and the ball kids will not be able to help you. So please keep an eye on the clock. Yeah? Any question? We have an Australian Open or John? Which one you prefer? Up, please. Up. Yes? You receive? Can we have a photo, please, this way?
So Pablo Carreno Busta winning the toss. Oh, I like the little wink. That guy knows a thing or two out of camera. Has chosen to receive first. Well, let's go to the other side of the net and see the man in red. He was red hot yesterday, but he has been plagued with injury. Tail end of the 2023 season into 24. He's had that elbow looked after, but he is good to go now. He plays with a protected ranking the last couple of months. He is protected at number 18 in the world. That's how he will get entry into the Australian Open from Gijón in Spain. And what a solid career he has had. Speaking of great careers, the man alongside me, also with Greek heritage. That's why we've got him in the booth. Mark Philippoussis. What do you make of this guy?
Oh, which guy we're talking about here? Tsitsipas?
No,
no, I'm
PCB first.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of a player, all-round game, beautiful all-round game, and he has, you know, last year wasn't the best year. Well, we're still at 2024, but I want to say that lost his way a little bit as far as confidence in his game, and that's something he's hoping he can take back for 2025.
What about this guy? What do you expect from him in the upcoming season?
Look, for me, it's a tough one. I'm not sure what kind of a pre-season he's put in, and I know that it was in Dubai and played an exhibition, but in my opinion, he plays his best tennis when he's moving forward. So he needs to be working on that. You know, his mind hasn't been there. He hasn't been as hungry as he normally is, and he said that himself. And when he's hungry, I mean, he's a natural fighter. So is that hunger there? That's another thing, because there's plenty of guys that are hungry out there.
Well, they played on 3 occasions. The good news for the Greek fans is that Tsitsipas leads the head-to-head 3-0. He has not lost a set in all the encounters. 2 on clay, which we could argue is Carreño Busta's favoured surface, but even on the hard courts in Dubai, Steph was too good for him. But we could argue that Steph is not quite the player he was back then as to what he is now. He's not playing as well as he was the last couple of seasons. He's outside the top 10, first time in a long time that he's finished outside of the top 10 at the year-end rankings. That last happened for Tsitsipas back in 2018. So the fact that this guy's got a match under his belt, that might serve him well too. I've got Mark alongside me, but more importantly, the great man that is John Fitzgerald is courtside. Fitzy, would love to get your thoughts on how you see this matchup shaking out.
Well, I think there's just a little issue for Stefanos here because he hasn't played a match. Carreño Busta has already been through one and found form in that match. Look, I know Pablo's been out of the game for a fair bit of the last couple of years, but he was pretty impressive in his first round. The guy down the other end won't be as intimidating as this one, but he played pretty well and he found a bit of form and a little bit of confidence, and he's got a match under his belt which can make a big difference, Robbie. So Stefanos can't start slowly here, I wouldn't think, because you know, his form, as Mark says, it hasn't been as good as his lofty expectations are. So no one knows. It's a two-horse race, Robbie, and it's an interesting one, though, this one. I'm really excited to see Stefanos this year for the first time.
Yeah, me too. Feel-good factors high when it comes to Australia. We've seen him perform well. We've seen Team Greece perform well here in this United Cup. They've always been a strong duo. But Zachary not quite on her game, and he has to play catch-up for Team Greece. They've been such great flag bearers for their nation, and he's going to have to dig deep this evening. Good news is, from a psychological point of view, in a two-horse race, when you've had the wood over somebody and you've got a good head-to-head record, it settles you in nicely, doesn't it?
It does, Robbie. I mean, I think the matchup serves Steph well as far as Pablo's game. He's an incredibly solid player. Doesn't really have the same weapons that Steph does. But as we both have pointed out, Pablo's already played a match. That was yesterday, and he looked very comfortable winning that match in straight sets, hitting the ball very clean, considering not playing a lot of matches over the last couple of years. But you know, when you have the weapons that Steph has, sometimes that does not matter.
So team captain there, what a great name, Theodoros Angelinos. That is not quintessentially Greek, I don't know what is.
I want to ask Mark, Robbie, if we can call him Teddy for short. That would simplify things for us.
Behave yourself, Mr. Fitzgerald. Looking forward to a great contest. One of the best forehands on tour, in my opinion. That of Stef Tsitsipas against this man who is rock solid from all areas of his game. Let's get the show on the road.
It's a dangerous sign. When you see, that first serve going in, it just sets up his whole game with that +1 that he has, that forehand, and doesn't make things difficult. And if you can hold serve consistently, that puts a lot of pressure on the other guy's serve. Just a nice little way to start the match. 3 first serves, and that's a 40-love lead.
Serve is so often a platform mark, but what about the return of serve? This is the average first serve return hit point in 2023 for Tsitsipas, so right around a meter behind the service line. But this season, are you a fan of him going further back on that first serve return or not?
Yeah, for me, no. The further he goes back, the more he's on the back foot. And I think the guys can get to his backhand a lot easier. And not only that, he leaves that drop shot way open. That's one of the things he has, you know, against Alcaraz. You know, they just the guys that could hit big and then center, and then all of a sudden, you know, come up with that drop shot in the last second can hurt him. But I think, like I said before, he plays his best tennis when he's closer to the baseline and he's moving towards the net.
And you're exactly right. The 2023 season, he started with considerable aplomb. Didn't lose a match. The United Cup made it all the way through to the finals of the Australian Open. You see where he took that first return of serve? Nice and tight to the baseline. So we'll keep an eye on that. Fitzy, you courtside there. I see you're in line with the baseline, so keep a beady eye on that for us, please.
I
think something I'm always amazed about every time I see Steph live is how big he is. I mean, he is a unit. He's so broad in his shoulders. He's tall. And when he gets hold of that forehand, that shot stays hit. A lot of power. Watch out if that shot starts to operate.
Yeah, I was going to say it's early in the match, but they're two great signs. I like that block return back, turning the shoulder, not overplaying it, and that backhand down the line.
We mentioned that 2023 season, he didn't lose a match at the United Cup. Didn't lose a match until he lost to Novak Djokovic in the finals of the Aussie Open. But of course, I can't help but remember 2021, that comeback against Nadal down under. 2 sets to love down against Rafa in the quarterfinals. He turned that around to eventually beat Nadal. And what an epic match that was. And I've got a bit of trivia for both you and Fitzy, Mark.
40-30.
Nadal, in his career at the Grand Slams, has only ever lost 2 matches when he's been 2 sets to love up. Of course, the one I've just mentioned against Tsitsipas. Do you remember who the other one was against?
You know the worst thing? You've actually asked me this question, I think last year, and I've still forgotten it. Fitzy, down to you. Can you help me out?
Mark, one thing you have to realise is that the older you get, the worse your memory is.
That's right, and today is
You're a
your
younger
birthday.
man than me.
Today is your birthday, that's right.
Good start from Team Spain. Nice hold.
What tournament was it? Can I get
It
that?
wasn't Sodeling at the French, was it?
No.
No, come on. On clay?
Sodeling
Well, Sodeling beat him.
Yeah. It was the US Open. And because it's your birthday, I'll give you one more clue, Fitzy. It was an Italian.
Berrettini?
No. Oh, like the very flamboyant casual player. Fitzy, what's his name?
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll let you say it, Mark.
Fanini?
Flavio.
Yes. Fabio Fanini.
I mean, that has to be one of his all-time greatest matches.
I miss saying his name, Robbie.
It's good.
Fabio.
all his kids. First names start with an F. It's a bit of a family thing. And I think that's one of the reasons that Flavia Panetta got the nod. So far, so good at first serve.
Well, if he serves well, he can. I'm sure he can still beat anybody, you know. But those mishit backhands in the previous game just worried me slightly.
Looking good. Greek will sit down with a 2-1 lead. Not happy with the tape job. Just feeling a little uncomfortable there.
Misma idea porque viene rápida. No viene muy rápida de velocidad, pero sí de tiempo. Con la roca rápida. Está muy cerca. Está muy cerca. Ese agobio, nada, todo lo tuyo. Si no tienes la portería del centro, si no la ves por el lado.
So Spain in a good position overall. You can see 1-0. Women's singles going the way of Jessica Buzas-Manero. Beating Maria Sakkari 6-2, 6-1. But perhaps feeling like he's playing with a bit of house money, Carreño Busta. He needs to do something different. He's played Tsitsipas 3 times. He's lost all 3, hasn't won a set yet.
Very low. Ready, 15.
Really lucky to win that point, but wow, what a return that was. And a hell of a pickup on that volley. One part of his game that's going to have to work today for tonight is that first serve percentage, you know, for Pablo needs to be high to give Steph least amount of looks on that second serve.
Runs down on that forehand. Takes it on so aggressively.
Again, he hasn't played a lot of matches, but you know he's got some confidence because he really stepped into that and accelerated. And that was a very clean and heavy shot. Taking off from where he left yesterday's match. Sorry, go ahead.
So that's a shot I always keep an eye on. I think he's got one of the best inside-in forehands. And when he starts to miss that, it does worry me.
Because even if that went over, Robbie, the cross court's completely opened. Pablo was there. It's not going to hurt him. But like you said, that inside-out forehand where you're getting to push your opponent off the court. Lowest part of the net as well. Now, I know 2003 was a good year for Steph. He was always pretty much at the top as far as percentage of games won. Was that in the high 80s? And I'm just wondering how much that fell off from 2023 to 2024. It'll be interesting to see if we can try and find that out.
Just a quick look through the ATP stats, Mark, and he was third in 2023.
Yeah, when that first serve percentage is up there, he's tough to break.
That's been the case early doors here. So very hard and accurate serving to give Steph a 3-2 lead. Group C here in Perth. So many beautiful places here in Western Australia. We're heading to Broome. It's about 2,000 kilometers north of where we are. Sunsets on Cable Beach. You've got the dinosaur footprints, sun pictures. It was claimed to be the world's oldest outdoor cinema garden, which opened way back in 1916. A camel walk on the beach. This is Broome, folks. So many beautiful beaches in and around this area. Greece is not too bad either.
Time.
It's a great story, is Pablo Carreno Busta. Alex Carreño is always my source of information when I'm wanting to find out about Spanish players, and he was actually discovered by Alex's former coach, Javier Duarte, who was going around the different regions looking for good players, and discovered him when he was about 14. Brought him to Barcelona to come and train there. And wasn't playing that much tennis, but he just loved it when he was surrounded by better competition in Barcelona. And he's always had an incredible appetite and hunger for the game. And Alex was telling me he was such an incredibly hard worker. First in the gym, last out. His game needed a lot of refining, but one thing that didn't need any encouragement was just his appetite to work hard. Such a big part of their culture, isn't it? It makes him so good.
They just push each other along, don't they? They're training with each other, they in the lounge with each other, they eat with each other, they just support each other. It's they've been like that ever since I remember being on the tour, and one of the best nations in the game.
It's a country with great weather. You can play outdoors all year round. And from pretty much being a country that only had clay courts for the most part, I think they've done a good job of building a lot more hard courts, working on both parts. If you have a look at players coming out of Spain now, they can play obviously very well on clay, but also very capable on this particular surface.
It's a gutsy second serve there, Robbie, out wide. 30 all, going to the weapon of Tsitsipas. But it paid off. I like that return. I mean, we did touch upon his waiting position on the return of serve, but in the second one, I don't mind if he gets deep, if he can look for that forehand and hit that heavy forehand deep and try and get that next shorter ball involved. That was set up with a good deep return.
Team Spain.
It's just a wrecking ball of a shot. Very rarely see him go back to the forehand. You hit it hard, Steph will just want to hit it harder.
Advantage Team
Well, he took a big cut at that return, didn't he? Timed it perfectly. Turn the shoulders, look at that. Return came back at 143 kilometers an hour.
Yes.
Captain of Team Greece, Theodoros Angelinos, will be disappointed with that miss. Then the hard work getting the return back into play. Good improvisation there.
Advantage, Team Spain.
Nice smart serve into the body there, Robbie. We don't see that too often, but well placed.
There it is. I love that combination. But in particular, the return on that second serve. I think from the ad side, Tsitsipas should always be looking for a forehand return. Stand deep.
Yes.
He is so quick to jump around his backhand that he can't hit the inside out forehand. And also, I think if you slide the second serve up the tee to him, he can catch up to that.
Rappy, you like that one?
I love it. I don't know why we don't see a bit more of it for good first serve.
Chip the ball back in play. Get involved in the point, and he got a free error from it. But you're right, it made it look very easy, didn't he?
Second break point opportunity.
Pablo, vamos.
Interesting when Steph's grip on the return of serve, he holds it in the forehand position.
Advantage, Team Spain.
Mark, I'd like to hear from you if you have a preference for a single-hander. When you returned, were you forehand grip? Did you wait in your backhand grip, or were you kind of neutral?
A little more in the forehand, where I could kind of come over a little to block it back, but then if it is on the backhand side, I can chip it.
Okay.
What about yourself, Robbie? It's a very personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what I call a hard hat to hold. Had to go to work there to Carreño Busta. I just thought, as a single-hander, I would say players more often than not target your backhand, and especially Steph. So for me, I would think it would be more beneficial for him to wait in a backhand grip, because he doesn't like to block the ball. I hear exactly where you're coming from. If it's a player who chipped the return, you can see there's the forehand grip. Not sure if that was a return or serve. That might have just been a regular ground stroke. But I remember even Lindell used to wait with the backhand grip. And I always feel, especially for somebody like Steph, who can manipulate the racket better with a forehand. So if he has to change from a backhand grip to a forehand grip, he'll be able to do more. would be a habit that's very tough to break.
Yeah.
Love.
Robbie, I feel there's a fine line between tinkering, trying to help someone get better, but tinkering where it would do the opposite of, the opposite thing. Something like you said, like a return of serve grip that they've normally had since, I would imagine, they were junior players. Is a very tough thing to change.
Game
Pick up on that out of the change of ends, Mark. I'll give you my thoughts specifically with regard to Steph in that department. But he's got the lead. The serve is laying the platform so far. And Team Greece on serve, 4-3 to the good.
Se sale para atrás, venga, tirar al revés. Sea agresivo contra la bola, porque los dos que la han tirado no las terminan de penetrar esa revés. Un poco poner. Sé que es duro, Pablo. Pero si bajas ahí el ritmo, te la juegas a que te vaya muy al sitio.
Well, I think John Fitzgerald has taken a seat on the Team Greece bench. Fitz, who you got with you there?
Thank you, Robbie. I'm with Theodoros, who is captain, he's coach, he's everything in this box, actually. So thanks for talking to us, Theodoros. He started okay, huh?
Yeah, he's having a good first set. He's had a break point the previous game. Hopefully get a break here and we can get ahead.
So he's hitting some awfully good shots, just mixing up a few errors at the moment. If he can gain some confidence in this first set, maybe he can even take it to another level. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting the ball really well, so he just needs a bit of, not luck, but I mean, to hit the spots a bit better on the crucial points to try and get ahead.
And he's got a winning record over Pablo, so that is in the back of his mind, I guess.
It is, but I mean, every match is a new match, so you got to go out there and play and be the better player.
Thanks, Theodoros. I know this is a tense sort of position to be in, but I think you speak better English than all three of us in the commentary box. Well, thank you.
Better English than Greek, that's for sure.
Thanks for talking.
15-all.
Expectation, hope in the camp. He's delivered an oil painting of a backhand there. It's a nice return. But Mark, just to get back to this guy's return. We mentioned
15-30.
2023 he was third in service games won on serve. He was 11th this season, but in the return department, number 39 this year. 2023, number 56 in his return rating, so it's a massive difference. He's way down that list. It's good stuff. And I'd almost say to him is, let's try something different. It can't get much worse. You know, given how good your serve is, you're way down the list on your return rating. Let's tinker for a couple of months. Let's try something different.
I couldn't agree with you more, Rob, but you know, difficult things. When I did work with Steph, I would see him a week before a Grand Slam. It's very difficult. You can't be changing or tinkering around, but I wish, you know, I had an opportunity to have a pre-season with him where you can have a couple of weeks where you can really work on something and give it a few days to kind of familiarize yourself with. But I couldn't agree more. My thing was, okay, let's just turn the shoulders, block the ball back in the first serve, get the ball in play. Second serve, give yourself more time and try and hit it, you know, look for that forehand and hit it heavy.
Game, team Spain.
I think something I find quite fascinating with some of the younger players with single-handed. Of course, you had a single-hander, so did I. And I think of both Dennis and Steph. Growing up, having a single-handed backhand, the first shot you learn when you're returning serve is that chip on the backhand, because you're just not strong enough, right?
Absolutely.
Whereas these days, and I wonder if sometimes if those green dot and red dot balls, you can go after the ball when you're 5 and 6 years old. You can learn to hit the fluff of it.
Yeah, you can work on that technique much earlier than we could have with those old wooden heavy rackets, that's for sure.
Speaking of returns, that is top tier right there. And I just wonder if, also with Steph being so strong, that just from an early age he's learned to club the ball, and that chip return just wasn't part of his repertoire. And never honed that skill as well as a lot of single-handers do. Oh, twice as nice.
Love 30.
That's a picture-perfect return. Turning the shoulders. Using the pace of the server. He must have got both lines on that forehand.
15-13.
I mean, this forehand has got some serious horsepower.
Net for six.
It's a game of centimetres, isn't it? I mean, the love 30 point just nicked the line, and this one barely misses it. So it could have been 15-40, it could have been break almost.
Yeah.
But not yet.
Second double fault for Tsitsipas.
Gee, that was a bad one. I'm not sure if he decelerated. That missed by a long way, didn't it? He seemed to lose his rhythm. I don't know whether he decelerated, got a bit tense. That's costly.
First break point for Team Spain. Did he just fall over there, Fitzy, after that shot?
He did. He just missed his footing there, but no problem. Jumped straight back up. Didn't twist anything.
Thanks for coming.
See, Carreño Busta asked him the question there on that pass. That wasn't super easy. As good as his forehand is, it was only a narrow margin, wasn't it? And a big gamble to go for the drop shot on such a big point. But, gee, what a controlled spinning forehand there. It barely cleared the net.
Fitzy, that's as good as you can do on that forehand side. But my thinking is, if you're going to approach, do not approach to the guy's forehand. As good as that was.
It's a big hold. Tsitsipas forehand to the rescue.
Leads 5 games to 4.
He leads 5-4. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion because the bunt down the line, you want to keep the ball on the same side of the court when you're coming in, Mark. But there is an exception every now and then, and he probably is the exception. Yeah. The quality of the forehand versus the backhand, especially under pressure. You might want to leave yourself a little more exposed, Fitzy, at the net by coming in cross court and say to Steph, okay, beat me with your much weaker shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that mode of thinking. You could also go a little bit more towards the body, I guess, and try to jam him. But look, he was just trying to hustle to get to the drop shot initially, wasn't he? And you've got a split second to make your mind up there.
Steph's brother in the black tracksuit top there. Played a fair bit of doubles together. I think he said this year he will just be playing the 4 majors with Petros.
Time.
Good spirits. Of course, it's day 2 of the United Cup in Perth. Things kicking off in Sydney as well today. So the summer of tennis down under is in full swing.
In rugby, that's the one we're talking about. Just chipping the ball back in play, starting off the point, and again, ends up winning the point.
That's why I'd want him to hold the backhand grip,
Right.
where he's got a good crack at it and he's ready for it. And I think he's easier improvising with the forehand.
Big difference when he misses that first serve. He's only won 25% points on the second serve compared to 70 on the first serve.
Team Greece has got a set point. It's a good meaningful return from Steph. And it's a timely break to wrap up the opening set. 6 games to 4 in 44 minutes. To get off to a good start this time round.
Love 15.
They were in Sydney last year, and they finished up the group there as well. They were with Chile and Canada, or the Greeks. So 2 years that they've played. They've excelled. Here's Maria, plenty to think about after losing pretty comfortably in her opening match.
30-15.
Next to Jessica Manero of Spain, 2-1.
Pablo's first match, guys, Shevchenko, he wasn't under the same intense pressure of ball speed. I mean, he's being rushed here, and he's making more errors than he normally would. He's so solid if he's got time, but the ball's on him heavily. And even though Stefanos is missing a few, the speed of his ball is hurting Pablo quite often.
First game, second set.
Fitzy, I don't know about you, but when I sit courtside and I watch these guys hit the ball, I cannot believe how hard they hit it first. And then the athleticism of the modern day tennis player, it's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah, how did we ever earn a living playing at the level we play compared to these guys? I mean, the rackets, everything's changed. The technology's made a big difference. They can create more racket head speed, and they do. And the swing pattern is different because they have more modern equipment, and these rackets are so aerodynamic. So yes, if you have racket head speed, you hit the ball harder. But boy, it's impressive when you sit courtside rugby, as you say. bit frightening, actually. You wouldn't want to be standing on the baseline waiting for some of these forehands coming at you. Gee, that was impressive. That might be the best shot he's hit almost. He got really low and drove that backhand so accurately. Beautiful shot. And when it comes that hard and that low, it's tough to control at the net.
Yeah, so much for picking on that backhand when you come in. Where does the sport go in the next 10 years with how hard these guys can hit the ball and how well it can move, Mark?
I mean, it's just getting more and more physical. Not only are they hitting the ball bigger on both sides, they're hitting the ball more consistent. And just the way they move, like they're sliding on the hard. I still don't know how these guys slide on hard courts. To get there, get in balance, and then recover for the next one.
(15-13).
This is where the pressure just keeps stacking up, doesn't it, Fitz? You touched upon it. I mean, Pablo has so much less time as far as being prepared to hit the shot tonight compared to yesterday.
Yep.
It's just building on him, and he's pressing more, and he's making more unforced errors, and he just looks uncomfortable out there, doesn't he? Looks rushed.
Well, he's built a career, hasn't he, on being so solid and not missing and then picking the right ball to hit a winner with. He's such a solid player. I've got so much admiration for him and what a career he's had. But yes, tonight is a different story than yesterday for him. This ball is just getting from one end of the court to the other so fast. He's got to hang on, Carreño Busta here. Just hope that Stefanos can't maintain this level, even though he's still not 10 out of 10, is he, Stefanos, by his standards, but he's doing enough to really hurt the Spaniard at the moment. And Pablo has to hang in there, keep holding his serve.
Again, team Spain.
Again, taking a huge cut. He never holds back.
One game only.
But, one of my favorite phrases was from Andre Medvedev, and he was talking about what it was like when you played against Andre Agassi, somebody who hits the ball so early and so hard. And he said it's like taking dictation from someone who talks very quickly. Describes it so very well. It's so annoying. Always rushed. It's uncomfortable.
I want to say there was nothing really wrong with that return. It was a nice, deep return. But when Steph is set, as far as his feet, on that forehand side, he can hit it anywhere.
Good enough. Love. Game Team Greece.
That's some heavy artillery. Setting 2-1 to Team Greece.
Ναι, είναι μικρό. Στην επιστροφή τελευταία μόνο μία επιστροφή στην τελευταία πρέπει να μην πεις στο μυαλό σου. Είναι όλα ίδια. Μόνο μία. Πες φανταστείτε. Μην πεις στο μυαλό σου.
That's Greek to me. Do you understand?
Me too, man. Me too.
Μόνο ένα έχεις. Μόνο ένα ρητό να καθίσει. Δεν έχεις κάτι άλλο.
A lot of information back and forth there in the Greek team box.
Time. Pretty low. Very low. Low. Game Team Spain.
Well, I think John Fitzgerald is about to nestle into the Spanish bench alongside Jessica Monero, who was outstanding earlier today, Fitzy.
Yeah, thank you, Robbie. Yeah, Jess, you were outstanding. Robbie is just saying in your singles, wow, you lost 3 games to one heck of a player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for that, of course. She's an amazing player. It was tough to play against her. She's like, she has to stay. I have to stay like every point, every day, like every minute for the match. So I was so concentrated for that. So yeah.
Gee, that will give you a lot of confidence now. Pablo he's going okay. Pablo is going very well against a pretty good player here. he's been out for a long time, but he must have had some confidence from that first win yesterday.
Yeah, the good thing for Pablo now is he's playing the second match, so that's good for him. And of course, Stefanos is an amazing player, so it's a tough match. But it was just some points, bad luck in some moments for Pablo in the last of the first set, and we'll see now. It's so important with the serve right now. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, he's hitting with much more power than his opponent yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's different, of course. They're different players, but Pablo knows Stefanos. He's ready for everything.
Yeah.
He has a lot of experience, so yeah.
Great. And if it goes to the mixed doubles, are you a chance to play mixed doubles?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
You're the informed player.
I'm ready for that.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, lovely chat there with Jessica, and what a season she's had. Tail end of 2023, she was ranked 149 in the world mark. She's ranked 56 now. And right around her career high, 54. And you can see why she's making that move at the rankings, right?
Yeah, I actually ended up speaking to a coach a couple of days ago in the gym, and said that they've been working together for almost a couple of years, and she had a great year last year, but this is 2025 is a year she's really looking forward to moving up. I think we're getting a real push up there in the ranking. It's a great start to the year for her.
Tsitsipas moving along nicely here, just keeping his nose out in front. Set in 3-2. Well, tell you what, Pinnacles is a special place, and the sandstone that are such a big part of the Kalbarri National Park. It's about 570 kilometers north of Perth. You've got incredible rock formations formed something like 30,000 years ago. These are the limestone formations, and very easy on the eye. Nature at her finest up at Pinnacles. It is the RAC Arena. That'll be our home for the next couple of days in the group phases. Greece have always made it through. As I mentioned a little earlier, last 2 years they finished top of their group. They'll be looking to do the same, but they're playing catch-up this evening. Spain winning the women's singles. Steph needs to reduce their arrears and take us into the mixed to keep Team Greece's hopes alive. For the first time, we've seen that this evening. Both players taking a good amount of the court. Of course, it's all explosive movement. You might think 26 meters, well, that's not very far. But your wattage is right up there. The power output, enormous. Maximum explosion. Line licking serve.
Just a little casual with those unforced errors, Robbie, in the last couple of return service games. Just feel like that, just looking at Steph, that intensity is not there. Just got to be careful it doesn't take it too easy and lose focuses and creeps onto the service games.
Okay, so he's held serve. The key now for Pablo is trying to unlock the serve of Tsitsipas, and especially the first serve, because it has been outstanding from the Greek. What do you make of the accuracy there of the first serve?
Yeah, he's doing a great job of mixing up the spots on both sides of deuce and advantage, and he's won 24 out of 27 points.
Yeah, when he's landed that first serve, it's been deadly accurate. It's been perfect in set number 2, I can tell you, 9 of 9. So the foundation is being laid there. And he's serving at a nice clip for the match. 66% first serves going in for Steph.
That's the thing, when Pablo can get that return of serve back on that first serve and getting to the point, cannot give a point away with this cheap unforced error like that. Just got to try and make Steph work for his service games.
59.
Fitzy, that's his second double fault, but there was a bit of a miss. Was that too far over his head? It's tough to see from this angle. You've got a better view at that.
Yeah, I'm laterally to his right as we speak, just a few metres behind, and in total about 20 metres away. But so I couldn't tell if it was too far left. Good point there, but it felt like he decelerated on that second serve. It was only 123 Ks, Mark, so he's had a little bit of trouble. There's an inkling of trouble on the second serve. He served a big double fault earlier in the match that he hit way long.
Even that one, I mean, that was 150. It must have just touched the back of the line, but that was a hell of a pickup there on that approach.
I actually like the way he uses his first serve. You know, if you go back to those stats about where he serves his aces, it's mainly in the middle on both sides and then a few wide like that last one. When he goes wide to the first court, he takes a lot of speed off it and then uses it to set up his forehand, doesn't he? The off forehand. Gee, yeah, so there's a little bit of trouble with the rhythm.
Yeah, you're spot on, Fitzy. He's decelerating. He's not accelerating into it, and he's definitely decelerating on that second serve. Not something you actually normally see. He's never really done that. He's normally over-served the second serve with a double fault and over-hit it. Not decelerating, something you don't normally see. Normally when that happens, it's a confidence thing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's lost his rhythm a bit here. It's quite strange. He wants to challenge this, but that felt out by a fair way to me. Well, it's tough to win against the technology.
I mean, I want to say that is a slightly different serve to what I remember working with Steph in 2023, as far as technique.
He just wanted to, he knew that was out surely, because that was a long way out. He just wanted to take his time on this next ball. Bit of pressure here now.
Yeah, that's his go-to. He likes the wide one on both sides of those big points.
But he doesn't normally get the ace out there, does he? When he put a bit more on that one, that's over 180 wide. That's a big serve.
See, for me right here, I'm looking at his energy. I'm looking at his intensity walking around. And I'm telling you, I feel like he's on the fence right now where he could easily get broken, set all, and almost, I don't want to say he doesn't care, but not that intensity that you want to see.
Absolute desperation to win each and every point. And for me, it goes back to the previous game when he was missing those second serve returns. He was all over the second serve of Carreño Busta in the first set. Very different in this set. Carreño Busta winning so many points behind a second delivery. He's getting so many freebies off of it. It was something like 25% in the first set. He's winning 67 in the second as Pablo. Tsitsipas has got out of jail there. Yep. Edging closer to the finish line with a 4-3 lead in the second set.
Ξέρω, νιώθω ότι πρέπει τώρα να την κάνω τόσο εκεί πέρα για να μπει μπάλα μέσα. Άμα την κάνω τόσο neutral.
Φέτα την λίγο πιο μπροστά. Από εδώ πάνω λίγο πίσω.
Πίσω.
Ήταν λίγο πίσω, λίγο πιο μπροστά.
Και το τελευταίο.
Ήταν οκ.
Το τελευταίο εννοώ πριν. Το τελευταίο πριν κάνω δεύτερο εννοώ. Μου είχε φύγει εκεί πέρα μπροστά.
They're having a discussion about his ball toss. He's saying that he's having an issue. It feels like he throws the ball out to the right. He's got no control over it. I'm a little confused of what he's trying to say, but he's not very comfortable. He's discussing his ball toss as far as the serve right now.
He didn't point to the lights there, Mark, did he? I thought when he came to the seat, he might have pointed up towards the lights, but yeah. I mean, he's used to playing on this stadium.
No, he definitely is. Look, in my, truthfully, when you get to know somebody, you know, they, you know, you start looking for some excuses there, pointing to things where, like you said, he's played on this court before, he's played under lights, and those double faults had nothing to do with as far as where the ball is going, where the lights are. It had everything to do with acceleration and not going after it. You know, he's just talking about something that, to be honest, just looking for kind of a little bit of an out right now. But you can tell with his body language where his mindset is and with the things he's discussing, he's just not there right now. And it's an opportunity for Pablo right now. You know, he's got to stay focused. He's got to understand that, you know, he was almost a little unlucky not to break. You know, even towards the end of that first set, he could have easily have broken and been serving for the set, but ended up not breaking and then played a mediocre game to lose that first set. But he's right into this match.
Well, if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome to the United Cup in Perth. Got Mark Philippoussis alongside me, and I've also got birthday boy John Fitzgerald courtside. Big shout out to Fitzy. But this is a big day on many fronts. I didn't realize, but I've got a little bird whispering in my ear that when you won both the Davis Cups, Fitzy, in 83 and 86, both were played on the 28th of December.
You can run, but you can't hide with you, Robbie.
That's incredible. Both finals against Sweden.
That was last century, you know. That's hard to remember.
Oh. That's why you're an Aussie legend. Congrats on both fronts.
Well, we had Pat Cash in the team. That made a difference.
It's exactly the kind of game that Pablo wanted here. Nice, comfortable holds, not there yet, but 40 love. It's a good hold, and it's something that you want to hear, that energy. He knows that was an important hold. Trying to get that energy up, sending that message towards his box, towards his corner. That he's up for it and he's ready to go. It's good to see. Guys, I want to say that Steph's doing something a little bit different on that serve. He's got that toe up. He's got that Sampras start of that motion. You know, where that toe goes up. I want to say that that's something he definitely, I don't think he used to do. I mean, I might be wrong, but
well, it's just a way to start swaying and getting body weight into the serve, I think, isn't it? But yeah, if it's anything like Pete Sampras' serve, you'd do it, wouldn't you? The best second serve I've ever seen live, Pete Sampras.
Quite a bit with his feet on the serve, hasn't he? At one stage he was serving with the platform on the first, and he was bringing it up for the second, and vice versa. Wow, size of that miss in the backhand. It's almost bottom of the net.
30-14.
For me, guys, this is an energy thing. You can just see his body language. Head is down, slumping around. That's it's an intensity thing. There was just nothing into that backhand.
That's going to sail wrong. Carreño Busta gifted that service game by Tsitsipas. And he'll take it with open arms.
5 games to 4.
After the break, he will come back to serve for the second set.
Más rápido, ¿entiendes? O sea, el secreto está un poco ahí. Tú antes también, pues me habías dicho que has querido hacer más de la cuenta, pero has fallado de gol. No hay que hacer más de primero. El objetivo, el mérito está en que seas capaz de seguir tu disciplina en lo tuyo, no más ni menos. Ese es el reto, ese es el mérito. Los mismos pensamientos, tu misma intensidad. Vamos, tío, vamos, vamos.
Definitive instructions on Team Spain captain. Serving to even things up at a set apiece is PCB.
Well, what a great close. He moved in quickly for that volley. Once you realize Steph was going to let go and hit that slice, look how quickly he moves in. Beautifully set up point.
Jose Antonio Sanchez de Luna has been very succinct in his messaging. Didn't panic on the second volley. He made sure he made it, didn't go for too much. Did Carreño Busta. Feel that there's been a momentum switch. Tsitsipas just a little off the pace. Three set points for Team Spain. Remember, they played on 3 occasions. Carreño Busta is yet to win a set of Tsitsipas. It's been a while. Last time they played was at Roland Garros, round of 16. It was 2021. That's what Carreño Busta is all about, just so solid. And for the first time against the Greek, he wins a set. And that means, and that's what Carreño Busta has done. All up for grabs here.
That's the kind of point that Pablo would love to play. Would love to have Steph playing, sitting in the back, content to rally. Not getting that forehand involved.
59.
Nothing you can do about that.
15-30.
And I'm not sure his confidence is great either, Flip. The energy, yes, is not there, is it? His body language is pretty negative. He's not bouncing around like you normally see, but he's lost confidence on the serve too, I think. He looks... I mean, if you had to guess right now, you'd say he's in a bit of trouble here. I think if he doesn't serve like that pretty consistently, he may well be. But still, first game of the third, and they're not easy to beat, these great players. It feels like when they get into a rally now that Carreño Busta is going to win the majority of points.
Yeah. Well, there's no real structure in the way Steph is playing now. Normally, you know, you want to hit that ball a little more height with the backhand deep, look for that short ball, look for a chance to run around and smack that forehand. But now it looks like he's just hitting the ball.
And out of nowhere, certain volley on such an important point. This guy was up to the task. Glued that return to Tsitsipas' shoelace. And in stark contrast, this guy looks like he's got a definitive game plan in mind, knows what he's doing, knows what he's trying to do.
Oh, he's got a clear game plan right now, and he's up for it. You can see it in his eyes, in the way he's moving around, even in between points. His team, his coach. There's some great energy coming from that bench right now, and that was a big first game to keep that momentum going, what he had built in that second set. And like you said, there's a lot of firsts. The first time he's won a set against Steph. I can guarantee you Team Spain knows that.
And the win predictor is suggesting that Pablo is now the favorite.
And I'll tell you, in the DNA of the Spanish tennis player, when they get their nose in front, they're not going to give it back to you. You're going to have to earn every step of the way here if you're Stefanos. So he's got a lot of work ahead of him to win this match.
Oh, great point there from Steph. taking the ball early,
Love 15.
moving in. That was a nice finish with that volley. Good technique. Nice deep reply. Here it is. Good in the short reply. He's up to it quickly.
Sure, once you've just got the break, you hit the first serve to his forehand.
Yeah. It's a head scratcher, isn't it, Bobby? I agree with you 100%. You work so hard, and not only that, it's 170 kilometers an hour first serve.
Again, so if he's playing safe, I'm erring on the side of the backhand if I want to play safe. Right?
Heavy second serve if you want to the backhand side, but won the point. He's gone there again, but he's won the point.
15-13.
Well, I for one didn't see this game coming. This is not in his DNA, I wouldn't think. This is a poor game by his standards, and I don't know, maybe he's started to believe he's got something to lose now by being ahead.
That was sumptuous.
13-14.
So creative.
That's a tough shot to hit, especially at 15-40. Will we see a heavy second serve here on the backhand side? No. Well, he stayed positive, kept on going for his shots, because I thought there was a good chip back from Steph getting that first serve back, but stayed on the front foot, and it paid off. Great couple of points, and he's back to juice.
That's top tier. All hands to the pump for Steph.
Advantage Team Greece.
It could have been the best backhand chip, he said, on the return of serve all match.
Again, I just love to see him come forward, Robbie. You know, when you're built like him and you have that image coming to the net, it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent.
He's won 77% of the points in the forecourt. All day, every day, that should be the second serve return for the Greek. But because he's down a break, he is so much more dialed in, making sure he makes that return. Not like he did at the tail end of the second set, Mark, where he was loose in a couple of service games of Carreño Busta, just missing basic second serve returns. Back even at 1 apiece.
It's just not comfortable at all on the serve right now. Not feeling that serve. And I don't know why he's not hitting the ball. It's 174 in that first serve. I don't know why he's not hitting that first one.
More intensity there, better footwork, like a bit of energy, which is what's been missing. And he plays a good point from the back of the court, because if he's moving his feet and he's got energy, transferring his weight, he's going to hurt you with that forehand a lot of the time. It's good to see.
Pablo has to do more with that second serve.
30-15.
Returning it back in the middle like that, just over the service line, it's asking to be punished. Yeah, Fitzy, you're right. He's definitely more switched on right now as far as his energy and then the footwork getting around and hitting that forehand.
Carreño Busta, suddenly the one who's a little loose. One break each in this deciding set, but it's Tsitsipas who leads 2-1.
Όταν μπαίνεις σε μόντ στο ράλι το διαγώνιο και βρίσκεις την μπάλα να γυρίσει με τον drive σου, να κάνεις μάνατζ όλο το πόντο μετά με τον drive σου, έχεις πάρει το πόντο. Δεν σου λέω να μην κάνεις το μάνατζ, αλλά το ελέγχεις πολύ καλά το πόντο με τον πόντο και γύρω να κάνει run around και παίζει όλο με το πόντο. Και στο σερβίς το πόντο σου που δεν συνέβη, πήγαινε το πρώτο σου, η line πήγαινε μετά και πήγαινε στο σώμα, το πρώτο. Πας του white. Ήταν καλό. Ήταν καλό. Όλα αυτά έχει πάει αριστερά το σώμα. Στο γιο, στο δίσκο. Έτσι πέσει το δίσκο σου και το πόσο. Το τελευταίο που είχα βγει και τόσο έτσι, ήταν πάλι σωστό. Πάμε. Πολύ κακόν. Και βρες την κατάλληλη μπάλα που θα πάρεις το μάνατς με το run around το κόμμα. Μην βιαστείς και βρεθείς να είσαι στη sideline για να μην πας έτσι το μάνατς. Διάλεξε ποια μπάλα θα βγεις να μανατζέρεις. Και το δεύτερο σερβίς, ειδικά παρέχεις στο σερβίς με το white. Βγες πίσω, πάτα και φόλωσε την πρώτη μπάλα ψηλά. Ή τα παίρνεις όλα γρήγορα, να κάτευε.
A strong pep talk for Tsitsipas on that sit down. Was down a break, broke back and leads 2-1. point on serve.
15 love.
And remember, it's a must-win match for Team Greece. So Maria Sakkari lost the women's singles to Jessica Monero, 2-1. Very one-sided affair. Monero was outstanding from first ball to last.
Definitely more intensity at court level. He's starting to transfer his weight through his body at that forehand.
Creativity by name is Carreño Busta.
Well, this is courtcraft, isn't it? It's courtcraft because he picks exactly the right time to hit the shorter ball. He was inside and he had Steph moving the other way. But to Tsitsipas' credit, he made him play a really tough volley.
And that great forehand was set up with that return, nice and deep. And then again, so quickly onto that short ball. Body weight into the direction of the ball. And that's a heavy forehand. Break point now for Steph. That first serve percentage really dropping here in the third set.
Understand why he's changed his court position there on the second serve return. Just stay deep. It's so easy for Steph to run around, find his forehand on the second serve. Closed the baseline, and then exactly when Carreño Busta hit the serve, he started running back. Then you don't have time to get in position and get around the backhand, and then he got stuck.
That's the one where he gets in trouble. I mean, that was a nice chip back, Robbie. I like the chip. He got it back into play, but he was behind almost the Perth sign on that one. Look at that. He's behind the Perth sign. Doesn't have to be a perfect drop shot to win the point.
A lot to like about that drop shot. Could prove to be a big hold in the context of this match.
2 games all. 15-all.
Just sees that inside-in forehand so well, doesn't he? Every player has a shot that if you wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll be able to execute it almost perfectly, and I think it's that one for him.
15. 14-15.
Oh, it's a great quick hold there from Steph, what he needed, and it's good to see some bounce in his step again. Some good energy in that game.
Forget it. Okay, forget it. Carlos μου,
Τώρα μπορώ να σου δώσω να μην
New balls, eh? New balls.
New balls είναι? Ναι.
Just have a quick look at this return on the second serve and break point here from Steph. And it's interesting, Mark, because he starts close to the baseline and then he runs back. And then it's just too central. We've seen him get around that backhand so easily when he starts deep, right? And he doesn't have to move back.
Yeah, if you're starting up there, okay, and you've got that intention stepping into it, step into it. But you've got to make your decision early.
See, he's moving way too far back here now. And that's never a good sign on his backhand.
As a server, the last thing you want to see is Steph staying way back and showing you that I'm going to run around and smack this return.
Yeah.
Make him serve down the tee.
Yes.
And like you said, he can still recover and hit that, return that one down the middle. But when Steph is waiting and he's worked hard for break point and he's got all that time and ends up hitting a backhand from like 3-4 meters behind the baseline.
And what I don't understand is when he broke initially, that's exactly what he did on the break point. So why wouldn't you just copy and paste that?
I don't know. That's, I mean, you work hard and you get what you wanted and yeah, it's a frustrating thing. It's a hit structure, but anyway, on serve here in the third. Like that one. That was a hell of a forehand from Pablo, but Steph decided to stay up in that second serve. It was a good return. It took it early, but that's just too good. But you need to make that decision of what you're going to do before the point begins. Put that pressure on the opponent one way or the other. The last thing Pablo needs right now is just to give those cheap, easy points to Steph and allow him to get into one of his service games, because that pressure is going to build.
I mean, if you're Steph's coach, just video that point on a second serve, and every time it's a big point, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. I don't care if you lose that point, but that's what you're going to do. Commit to that.
Don't commit to coming too close to the baseline. As a result of that, he's got 2 break points.
Oh. I mean, that is a cool guy under pressure. 15-40. Good chip return that stays low. And look, let's look at the angle here. That's perfectly executed. 1 break point saved.
At its finest.
That was a bit like the Steph of old, though, wasn't it? I mean, he dominated that point, and he had racket head acceleration every time he hit it, and foot speed to finish the point. Good stuff. That was exciting.
Yeah, that was a confident-looking point, wasn't it?
It just hasn't been there the whole time, though, has it? It's an interesting scenario at the moment with him, but he's found it for the moment, that's for sure.
Tell you what, man, when he has that Fitzy, he's a complete different player.
I mean, it is one of the best shots in the current game, that forehand. So you just use it whenever you can. It's frightening to be up the other end when that thing's coming at you.
Bang on, Fitzy.
Next for service.
Just like that, the forehand leaks to unforced errors. But I think on the car radio on the way into the stadium this evening, you had a bit of Tom Petty on with "I Won't Back Down."
needs to have bad to the bone going on the way home if he wins this. He can take it into tomorrow, Robbie.
Oh, I love that. That shot is something special. And it's taken him to a 5-2 lead in this deciding set. Team Greece looking good now. Well, why don't we head over to Esperance. It is a four-wheel drive adventure that you would love to have on one of the most spectacular beaches in the world, surrounded by stunning scenery, different colors of blue in the ocean. But it's a long way southeast of Perth. You've got to go almost 700 Ks to get there. But I tell you what, that is what awaits you after a couple of hours of driving. Well worth the trip. That's a fist pump. Completely committed to the cause and the support.
Time.
He's put his fans through the ringer this evening, has Steph. Very good in set number one. Just lost a little bit of intensity and focus towards the second half of set two, and that's what cost him. And remember, he was down a break early on in the opening game of this set. They broke right back and has extended the lead now to 5-2.
Too low. Very low. Setting 15.
Vamos, Pablo, tío. Vamos, Pablo. Ánimo, que puedes.
That backhand right there is a cheat code. That one was as good as we've seen tonight from Tsitsipas. Stand and deliver at 147 Ks an hour. It was very easy on the eye. It's going nowhere. He will want to see Tsitsipas step up to the line one more time. It really is embroidered into their DNA to compete till the very last point, Fitzy.
No doubt. Yeah, that's what you've got to respect almost more than anything else, isn't it? The way they compete to the end, the Spaniards. And so Stefanos here has some work to do still. But he has lifted his intensity, and he's serving very well at the end of this third set. So can he carry that form in the biggest game? Well, I think he went the wrong way. I mean, he was forced to go forward in the court, wasn't he, by the short return? But did he use the inside in when he probably should have gone the other way?
Absolutely. And Carreño Busta was so far wide. Just keep him moving. Always nice to win that first point against the server. You heard you, Fitzy.
Well, he's so good at that play. And that's the angle to go in on most of the time. If you can get the opposition stretching and taking that left hand off the racket, you're in control. If you hit a positive approach.
So beautiful in its brutality, that forehand.
When he has that aggressive mindset, it's so beautiful to watch. Everything's flowing, accelerating through the ball.
Lovely way to bring up your first match point. Seals the deal with a 13th ace. 4 times he's played Pablo. 4 wins against the Spaniard, and crucially, the win this evening keeps Team Greece alive in the tie. Tsitsipas gets the job done 6-3 in the third.
Yeah, so look, it was a very up and down match for Steph, but he had got the job done. But in the third set, once he was down at break, he just took it to another level. He just came alive, great energy, started to move around, look for that forehand, and just finished off strong. So that's a positive thing to know that he ended up getting through that match, because the way he finished that match, which for me, it was a fantastic sign, and hopefully he can take that on to the next match. And more importantly, keeping his team alive. Now it's 1-1 with a live mix to come.
Absolutely. It's almost like he just needed a kick up the butt when he went down the break in the third to get him into top gear. And We saw some of the best tennis in that deciding set from him. And I think Steph is courtside, ready to have a chat with Fitzy.
Steph, well done. Tennis is a funny old game, isn't it? The form can come and go a little bit sometimes, and maybe it left you a little bit in the second set, but boy, you finished strongly.
I did, yes. I fought it through, and in some situations it felt like I was really struggling to get back into the match. Pablo was playing very good tennis throughout the third set, so I had to come up with something, and I came up with some good returns. A little bit of offensive tennis, and that helped me out, kind of escaping that situation. Yeah, I'm happy that I just found a way in a position where mentally you're probably like doubting a little bit your choices and what you're trying to do out on the court, but somehow trying to find a way through. That's the moment that I was the most proud of.
When you feel those down moments, what are you telling yourself? You move the feet, you get more aggressive, move quicker to the ball?
Yeah, well, it does have to do with footwork, absolutely. Sometimes I fixate too much on my arm and what I can do with my forehands and backhand, so it's for sure important to remind myself of my footwork. I've played my best tennis when my feet are active and I'm able to navigate around the ball and get through the ball. So I would definitely owe it to that.
Yeah, well done, because when you transferred your weight through the forehand at the end, it was the Tsitsipas forehand of old, and that can do some damage.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good hitting those once in a while during a match.
Now, Greece has been very successful in this event. You and Maria are a fairly formidable team. You've kept us in it. You've kept Greece in it tonight. That's a big win, wasn't it, to get back into this match?
Of course, any win is important here, and any player that gets to play the United Cup this week is a top-tier player. So I'm not expecting anything less than that. I'm just hoping to come out here and represent Greece in the best possible way. Perth, obviously, I've had great memories being built here over the last couple of years. The first time I came here for the Hopman, now it's the United. So things have changed over the last few years, but I'm more than thrilled coming back every single time. I specifically was praying to come to Perth to start the season here. I mean,
I can see you're not very popular here, Stefanos.
Not really. Western Australians are pretty laid back, and I like that. That's my type of vibe.
Well done, mate. Well, thanks for chatting to us. Great to see you in great form. Good luck.
Yeah, when that forehand is in full flow, it is very, very impressive. It's one of the great shots in our sports. And a final look at the numbers, Mark. What stands out for you?
The first points won for me on the first serve, 82% and 13 aces. Yes, he's got the 6 double faults, but when he needed it, it came in for him. And look at that, 15 forehand winners. And also look at the net play. He has a lot of unforced errors, 38 unforced errors, but 19 points won out of 25. That's a very positive.